Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Tour de France 24. It's episode number 4. It's not a red number, but I did notice I have a gold number. That's got to be the combativity classification, right? There was never anything last year. I hadn't noticed that this was there this year, but it appears there's something now. I'm definitely the first one off the front today, but I am not the only one off the front. But as groups attack, the peloton is chasing. So I have a 30-second advantage for now. I'm going to start to restore some red bar for when that time comes. But I've got 4 chasing that are just a few seconds behind. If we can get away and stay away as a group of 5, it's definitely going to put me in better shape. But that drops me behind.
The finish at Muir de Bretagne.
Jackson, Vashek. Vashek was my old rival when we ran this series last year. He was always in the breakaway with me in the early seasons. I have a feeling O'Brien is going to end up falling back to the peloton. The big question is, will the peloton sit up when that happens, or will they continue riding hard and continue chasing down, thinking that 5 of us is too much? O'Brien is finally reeled in by the peloton, and instantly the gap is going out. It's out to 50 seconds already. It took a very long time for O'Brien to finally get caught by the peloton, even though they had only been 6 seconds behind him. But now that that's happened, it's very clear that they are content with the 5 of us being away. It's a minute 11. Minute 15 and counting. It should be 2 minutes plus here shortly. We've got a long ways to go to the first intermediate sprint. There's not much doing on this stage. It's the longest of 3 stages, so the good news here is it's the best stage to be in the breakaway, and I've already been in the breakaway before. And with none of the other 4 riders having been in the breakaway with me in the first stage, I already had an advantage then. But if we hang on deep into the stage today, that will be a guarantee. Not quite a guarantee. The first stage was a little short. Stage 3, a little bit longer. It would nearly guarantee the combativity award by the end of the race. The 4 today with me would still be in contention, and 2 of the riders who broke away with me yesterday will still have contention. So overall, that would leave 6 riders who could still, if they attacked and I didn't attack in stage 3, they could take that combativity award away. Peloton now has afforded us a 5-minute advantage as we go through and do our thing. Coming up on the first intermediate sprint, already inside that 1 kilometer window, and here comes that push. Jackson has let it out. Fernandez is attacked early. I'm still staying in the wind here, and now trying to come through. Definitely not going to get first. There's clearly a fast rider in Fernandez, and I actually ended up staying locked in. I thought I might overtake Vashek there, but that didn't happen. Right away, we go into our King of the Mountains. This is a great time to use my gel, and this is a good opportunity to actually win a King of the Mountains classification, because they are... Everybody just attacked. We're seeing others attack as well. Look at that. Thiessen, Vandenberg, Demar. That's for the intermediate sprint. Alright, I have used my red gel. It has not left me at full strength, but it's definitely helped me out a little bit, get something back. Vashek is the best puncher. He'll be hard to overcome. We're coming up on 1K already to the top of this one. And I do not have much red bar to push. But you can see Jackson is definitely feeling it. Vashek looking a little bit stronger. Fernandez was the one who attacked really hard. I've already come through into the 2nd position. Now Vashek is attacking, and we are coming up on the top here. Isasa has come through hard, but I'm going to No! How did I not overtake Isasa? I biked through, and I was half a wheel ahead of him. Huh, okay. Well, I missed out on that point. Doesn't matter. 2nd place means nothing to me. It's 1st place. It's getting the over-the-top first credit that we are striving for anyway. Jackson was dropped momentarily, but he comes back in contact. and I am going through a recovery phase as we head right into the next one now, just 3K away from it. Others were still riding, so it might give me a slight chance on doing better this time. Already Vashek's like, yeah, why isn't everybody taking a turn? Okay. Jackson going early. Jackson going very early here. Is this because I didn't work for like 2 kilometers? I'm attacking very, very lightly though. And you can see how coming through now, I'm going to be able to leave the group in the dust. But the big question is can I hold them off towards that eventual finish line, as I've now used every ounce of energy that I have. They are coming, but not coming fast enough. There we go. Right over the top. That's the one that matters. First. Jackson, well left behind. By the way, we had a 5-minute advantage, but the peloton pulled that back down to 2 minutes. As we come up on the second and final intermediate sprint of the day, I'm worried about my ability to go on much longer, and we're only 33 seconds ahead of the peloton. So I don't think I'm going to necessarily contend for this thing, but Fernandez is a heavy favorite. So I'm going rather soft on this one. If I'm not going to win it, I might as well just come across and stay in the group and save some energy. We have 0 chance of actually winning the stage, as it's only a 37-second lead. 31K to go. That peloton, the longer we hold them off, the more kilometers we catch for the combativity. And with 1 rider already dropped, it's putting us in that even stronger position for now. Really, there's only about 5 contenders, and Isasa has just been dropped. At this point, I think I need to manually take control here. I need to gel up, and I need to actually contribute, which has not really been happening. I keep telling the AI to contribute, but the AI has not done that. So I'm going to come through, take a poll here. Vashek just got dropped, so Fernandez is the last one. So it's just him and I now. Peloton also just 24 seconds behind though. I don't mind that this is setting me up to fail at the end of the stage. We already lost time on stage number 1. It's not a concern. This is all about the combativity. Fernandez is just kind of messing around now. He seems like he wants to attack me.
Over-revving. Reduce the tempo or you'll pay the price.
And the peloton's now just a matter of seconds behind us, so trying to get 1 more kilometer, 2 more kilometers is the final objective here before we sit up for good. 6 seconds ahead of the peloton. Love to arrow tuck, but that means we would make contact with the peloton right away. Fernandez, one last little push again. See how he's trying to attack me there. But then he ends up sitting up a moment later, and we've been caught.
If we want to get away in the final kilometers.
22K left of a 177K stage, so that's a good 155 kilometers off the front. That's a good day for us on that part, and looking very good for a potential combativity award win at this race. Drop before the finishing climb. I'm coming up on the base of it now, just 3 kilometers from the finish, with the peloton battling it out. Alaphilippe takes the win. I need to tell my teammates who are still there to attack. A little late on the command to tell them. But as I come up on the finish line, that's the end of stage number 2. Our leader right now is Kopechki, down in 9th place, 10 seconds off with Van Uden and Alaphilippe getting the major time bonuses. In fact, all 6 riders who have had a time bonus in the first 2 stages are all on the same time. KOM is actually wide open. We're only 1 point off of leading that. It's possible that we could get it. I might try a little bit harder on the next stage, but we just don't have enough punch in us to be very reliable in the King of the Mountains. But at the moment in the combativity classification, I have a 90-kilometer advantage over Fernandez, 100-kilometer advantage over Vashek and Isasa. Jackson comes in about 145K behind. So that gives us a healthy advantage with a final 150-kilometer, roughly, 3rd stage. I do not need to be in the break necessarily. I just need to make sure none of those riders, Jackson and above really, even Fuentes and Bristenga, I think are far enough behind that it's really just Fernandez, Vashek, Isasa, and Jackson, that if they attack, I would need to go with them. Down the order here for the start of this third stage. The KOM is a possibility. It's going to be a hard stage, and I don't think I'm going to fare terribly well on the stage. I've got to limit how hard I push as the first two riders. Plumer is one of them. Not sure who the second one is. There's definitely one rider in the purple jersey that we're not sure who that is. And that's the one we need to watch out for. But Peloton's already a minute down, so we're doing good on that part. Alright, the first 4 riders up the road are still up the road, and for now we are in a group of 4 that's following that, and then there's another group of 4 following us. There's a minute and a half gap back to the Peloton overall from the front 4. And there's a lot of undulation on this third stage, meaning it's going to be rather difficult. The good news is that the Peloton has sat up, and it's 2 minutes. So if we're lucky, the front group is going to start to sit up.
He's a pure
now that they're
ruler
out to that 2
who
minutes.
relies on his power to tip the scales. Anyway, he doesn't have much choice given his qualities as a sprinter.
Yeah, we are definitely starting to close that gap. Two more riders on the attack, though. Now, the good news for me is the more riders off the front, it's almost better. I don't know why none of these guys are coming and taking a turn at the moment, though. There we go. That front group's definitely sat up. Now we're just 10 seconds behind. We'll pull us up there soon enough. Fuentes has been in the break. He is 6th overall at 77 kilometers, but that is just outside of that range that we don't need to worry about it. And now as the other group makes contact with us... Ooh, hello, we've got some cobbles today. Yeah, we're good. Why does it look like I'm about to get dropped? Just over 2 kilometers from the head of a climb here, and going 100% effort, I nearly get dropped from the group, so I'm having to actually use red bar just to get up in a better position, as we're getting a healthy push from the group right now as we come up on 1K to go. I have picked up a nice front position here, but this is the difficult portion at the moment. I've been able to get an advantage. I'm 12 seconds ahead of the group, but can I maintain that advantage? 24 seconds ahead. I think I might. Peloton's already back down to just a minute 45. We've got it. That's one more point. I'm tied for the lead of the King of the Mountains. Oh, 1K to the sprint? Well, shoot, let's go claim it before anybody can make contact with me. I'm just 4 seconds ahead here, but if I push on and attack all the way to the finish, I might just hold these guys off, and I do! Just barely beating out Braddock. But that's huge. I just won an intermediate sprint and a King of the Mountains. That's big. So 12 of us back together. We are minute 43 ahead of the Peloton with shenanigans going on, fighting for the intermediate sprint. You would expect that's going to all come back together. And I would imagine the Peloton will sit up a little bit and let us open a gap now that they're through the intermediate sprint point. Okay, so we've already dropped a rider,
The mountains
and
really aren't
I'm
his
getting
thing.
kind of
He's more of
low
a puncher
on
ruler with a good
energy.
finish, if in a small
Let's
group.
go ahead and use our gel. So now we're down to 10 and a minute 40 advantage. Our group is definitely thinning out. Now we're down to 9, minute 30 advantage. Our space between those first 2 checkpoints of the day and the next 2 checkpoints of the day, we're past the halfway stage of that portion. It's Cat 3, Cat 4, King of the Mountains, and then the feed zone after that, and I'm getting quite low on energy. One thing I need to watch out for is not losing so much energy that I end up going straight out the back of the Peloton and end up getting a time cut, right? To win that King of the Combativity Award, I have to actually finish within the time. It's one thing I need to watch out for. I'd love to make it to that feed zone, though. I can recover some energy and continue on my way, and at that point I should be well within any time cut that may come. 2:09 to the Peloton, by the way, and you can see some of my teammates are pretty tired, and actually we're missing at least one teammate. There's only 5 there.
first time across the finishing line for the men in front. They've got 5 laps to complete before their day's done.
We are 2K from the top of the Cat 3. This is worth 2 points. This would just about win the King of the Mountains classification for me if I can go over the top first with this one. And the group is looking pretty dang haggard, not just me. 1K.
The Californian
Wow,
and the trim end will be climbed by the riders on each lap. But there will only be mountain
That was a
points on
deceiving
the first
corner.
and the last ascent.
Yeah, I am done competing for the day. It's the first time I've seen an American flag in this game.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well
It's
placed.
always just the French flag. Okay, I am in extreme energy save mode here, trying to aerotuck as much as I possibly can. And then just ride tempo until the peloton catches me so that I don't go straight out the back. And we will try to gel up early once we do get there. Peloton's blowing up already. There's 116 left. Alright, so I'm back into the peloton. We're down to 8 at the front. We're down to 89 in the peloton. And that feed zone is coming up, and I should make it to that feed zone without getting dropped by the group. But you can see the tempo is quite high. But we're about to turn this corner and go downhill towards that feed zone, and that is the key to my survival here. I know that I'm eventually going to get dropped here, but it's the timing of that getting dropped.
The riders have crossed the line, and they're starting the second of the 6 laps to be completed.
Finally, gel. I will gel up now and then try to hang on to the group for as long as I can. Obviously, I'm no longer in contention for the remainder of this stage, but the fact that the peloton's at 79, there's a lot of riders behind who obviously have their own issues. Boy, this game hates having 2 buttons pushed. It's always been an issue with this game that I don't experience with other games. Peloton's down to 45 as I'm finally dropped from the group. Now 40 left. I've got 5 teammates still there. It's a very, very small group. I'm going to just make my way towards the finish line now. I'm drifting backwards towards trailing groups, but I've got probably enough of a cushion now to be safe and not have to worry about the time cut so much. But keeping an eye on those teammates as they push on. Just 22 left, and that's Group Benut. That's not even, is that the peloton anymore? Man, I'm going backwards fast though. Down to 129th on the road. Front 8 still have a 2-minute advantage as they go through the intermediate sprint. It's down to 11 chasing, and we have 3 of those riders. Kopechki looking pretty okay.
Okay, I'll protect him.
Tell Perron to protect Kopechki while I've got 30 kilometers left to go as I've blown up for about the 8th time now. But I seem to be at least stabilized in this group that I'm riding with. Okay, Perron's been dropped. Planet got dropped right after, so it's down to 10. They only lost 3 riders, and 2 of them were our guys. There's still 6 riders off the front. They have not been caught. Benut is in, or Kopechki is in a small group. He's got 2.5K. I think I want him to try to attack before the top of this thing. And I'm going to tell him to do so. They're pushing pretty hard right now, so never
The
mind
lead
on
riders
that.
are now at the summit. Nobody's managed to gain the upper hand. Victory should come down to a sprint.
Final 4K for Tish Benut. They did not catch the front though. They're still a minute 30 behind. Okay, coming up on the final kilometer, Askey, Plumer, and Graddick have ended up winning today, surprisingly. Okay, 800 meters. Go ahead and attack.
Okay, I'll put in a big acceleration.
Nice took 5th. Alaphilippe, Godin. Kopechki got 10th. That's good. Final kilometer for me, I ended up way down in 127th, way lower than I was as I dropped back many, many times there. Combativity award should be mine. KOM should not be. Definitely will not be. Kopechki had a good race. That should offer the team some points. So Kopechki and group end up a minute and a half down on 3 breakaway riders. Not sure what their time gaps were, and if that puts any of them into the top 4, GC. We'll find out in a moment on that part. But for the KOM, Askey gets 2 points. Plumer, Nicolau, Graddick all get 2 points. I got 1 point. I had 1 point previously, so I have 2 points. That could be wide open. How many riders ended up on 2 King of the Mountains points? I'm one of many. Did anybody get more than 2 points? Possibly not. Plumer picked up 147 kilometers today, which is a lot. That is absolutely a lot. Fuentes was the one who had some before. He did get plus 50 compared to me, but I had more than a 50-kilometer advantage. I only got 64 kilometers today, but I do believe that should be enough. Should. Final standings. Askey, Plumer, 1-2. They do. 2 of those riders do end up hanging on, taking the win away from Van Uden and Alaphilippe. Kopecky ends up 8th place. In the end, that's a great result for us. Planet was 17th. Perron was 20th. Rodolfo was 23rd. KOM, 2 points. Alaphilippe got his winning a stage, I guess, so that's why he wins the KOM. It was more meaningful. Or it was the first 2 points collected, was more likely. And as somebody who added up 1 plus 1, I get the last position for that one. I think Fernandez was a 1 plus 1 also. The others all came as 2-point victories, which I have heard that's a tiebreaker. Higher value climbs are more noteworthy. I ended up 6th in actually tied for 4th in the points classification in the end, but Van Uden won that comfortably. Kopecky was 5th in the Young Riders. We ended up 1st as a team, and I do win the combativity by well over 100 kilometers, so hooray. That is definitely worth points. Individual pro cycling ranking, I now have 24 points. It's only 68th. It's not great. It's the best. Kopecky had a good race. He got 9 points total on the season. So I am definitely scoring the most points for the team up to this point. We have 54 points as a team, 22nd in the rankings, which is definitely not a great place to be, but it's not last. There's 29 teams. Definitely have some completed objectives, and my ranking has gone up significantly. It's a 67.7, going up quite a bit more than it had in the previous couple of races. So flat rating, +2. Sprint rating, +2. Acceleration, +2. Hills, +2. But the medium mountain and mountains, no gain, but there was nothing to gain. It takes at least a Cat 2, and we never saw any Cat 2s. Cat 3 was the biggest climb we had in that race. Time trials, +2 points. Prologue, +2 points. Stamina, +3. That's helpful. 72 is our rating there now. Resistance, +1. Cobblestone. We had one little brief cobbled sector in one of those stages, and that becomes our first cobbled point. 56. It's our lowest rating, and it's going to take a while to bring that along. But recovery is up to a C, which is going to let us hang in there in longer races a while longer. I'm up to a 67.7 now. So here's the thing about my philosophy about your team and how to utilize your team. Now, using their gel, telling them to attack late on. I don't want to control my teammates. This is a pro leader playthrough. I'm the pro leader. I'm controlling my rider. I do not want to control my teammates. That is preference. A lot of people will control their team. In fact, they'll ignore that individual rider and control the other teammates to build the team. It's not how I want to play the game. But my philosophy is to be a leader, I have to be capable. I have to earn the right to be a leader. So as my rating improves, which it's now 67.7, it's now to the point where I am better than at least some of my teammates. And I feel comfortable bossing around that group of teammates. But definitely not the other ones. I won't control any of them, but telling somebody to protect me that's weaker than me, I'm okay with. Telling a strong rider to ride for me, unless circumstantially, like say I go into a breakaway and win the stage and find myself the leader overall. At that point, it would make sense. It's logical that the team would ride to support me, especially if it's a couple stages and they're weaker stages and they go, hey, you can win this thing. That would make sense. Therefore, I would be the leader even with a better rider supporting me. But I want to play, I want the realism factor. Weaker riders support stronger riders. If I'm the weaker rider, I should be supporting stronger riders, or doing the other realistic thing that is exactly what I've done so far, which is go gain experience in the breakaway. Go out there, fend for yourself, get your sponsor on TV, and you could see how effective it is at leveling us up. Finishing flat stages, riding in breakaways is doing the trick. I have one more sprint point that will come from riding in a break. But intermediate sprints, 5 more sprint points will come from winning an intermediate sprint. So I have 6 more sprint points available from being a breakaway rider. Acceleration, same thing. Hills, lead the Cat 3, lead the Cat 4s, finish hilly stages. Right now, the bulk of the points that will level me up are still coming via breakaway. Lead the top of a Cat 2 or a Cat 1. Again, breakaway stuff. Time trial. 150k solo, 200k solo. Finish individual time trials. So all of these things cater towards continuing that overall objective of being in a breakaway. Stamina, we're down to the last couple points out there that are going to come via breakaway. But right now, the breakaway is still the way for me to get stronger, get competitive, so that I can go start focus on actually winning and competing. For this rookie year, I'm going to do the Barrador thing. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.